Today we're breaking down Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Have you ever felt like you're capable of so much more, but something invisible keeps holding you back? Like you start strong, but the second things get uncomfortable, you find an excuse to quit? And deep down, you know you're living at maybe half your potential? David Goggins discovered after years of being exactly where you are, that the voice telling you to stop, to take the easy path, to quit when it hurts, it's lying to you. In this video, you will learn 7 specific techniques that'll help you push through any mental barrier. Watch till the end to access reserves of strength you didn't know existed and literally become unbreakable. Not through fake positivity, but through proven military-grade mental conditioning that works whether you feel like it or not. Lesson number 1, the 40% rule. This concept will fundamentally rewire how you think about your limits, and it's the reason Goggins went from 300 pounds to Navy SEAL. Goggins is in Hell Week, the most brutal part of Navy SEAL training. Day 3. His body is breaking down. Stress fractures, pneumonia, nearly drowning in the ocean. Every cell in his body is screaming, "Quit." That's when he discovered something that changed everything. When your mind tells you you're done, completely maxed out, nothing left, you're only at 40% of your actual capacity. Think about that for a second. More than half your potential is sitting there unused because your brain is trying to protect you from discomfort. This isn't motivational fluff. It's biological. Your brain's #1 job is keeping you safe, comfortable, alive. So it sets governors, like the ones on car engines, to prevent you from pushing too hard. But those governors kick in way before actual danger. Most people never discover this because the moment things get hard, they stop. I can't do another rep. I can't run another mile. I can't study another hour. But what if you're only at 40%? Because here's the part nobody talks about. Goggins tested this everywhere, running his first 100-mile race with 0 training. Broken bones, kidney failure, literally peeing blood, and he finished. Why? Because he knew the secret. When you think you're done, you're not even close. The 40% rule isn't about being reckless. It's about recognizing that your comfort zone is lying to you. Every single day. Try this. Next time you want to quit something, a workout, a project, whatever, ask yourself, am I really at 100%? Or is this my 40% governor talking? Then do just 10% more. Not double, just 10%. That's how you start accessing that hidden 60%. And this is where it gets interesting, because the next technique literally rewires your relationship with yourself. Lesson number 2, the accountability mirror. This technique is why Goggins transformed from an overweight exterminator to a Navy SEAL. And it starts with the most uncomfortable thing you'll ever do. Picture this. Goggins is staring at himself in the mirror, not flexing, not posing, just looking at the truth. At 24, he weighed almost 300 pounds, worked a dead-end job spraying for cockroaches, and was lying to himself daily. He taped notes to that mirror, not feel-good affirmations, the raw, ugly truth about who he was. You're fat. You're weak. You quit everything. But he didn't just write the problems. Next to each brutal truth, he wrote what he was going to do about it, not dreams. Actions. Run 2 miles today. Do 10 push-ups. Small, specific, undeniable. The accountability mirror works because it removes your escape route. You can lie to friends, family, even yourself in your head. But when you're standing there looking at yourself and those notes every morning, there's nowhere to hide. They think being hard on yourself means beating yourself up. No, it means being so honest that excuses become impossible. When you stop negotiating with yourself, that's when transformation begins. Think about it. How many lies are you telling yourself right now? I don't have time. I'm not that kind of person. I'll start Monday. The accountability mirror destroys all of that. Because once you admit the truth, you only have two options: accept it or change it. The mirror isn't about self-hate. It's about self-awareness so brutal that change becomes inevitable. Every morning, you're forced to confront who you are versus who you could be. And if you think that's intense, wait until you hear what Goggins calls taking souls. Lesson number 3, taking souls. This sounds aggressive, but stick with me, because this psychological technique is genius. Goggins is in Ranger School. There's an instructor who absolutely hates him, makes his life hell, extra duties, constant criticism, trying to break him. Most people would crumble or get angry. But Goggins, he smiled. Taking souls means flipping the script on anyone or anything trying to break you. When someone expects you to quit, and instead you get stronger, you just took their soul. It's not about them, it's about you. The instructor makes him do extra pull-ups as punishment. Goggins does them perfectly, then asks, "Was that good enough, Sergeant?" The instructor is furious, adds more. Goggins does those too, smiling. By the end, the instructor walks away defeated, soul taken. Most people give their power away the moment things get difficult. Boss yells at you? Day ruined? Someone cuts you off in traffic? Angry for hours. But when you refuse to break, when you actually get calmer and stronger under pressure, you become unstoppable. But here's the counterintuitive part. They think taking souls is about revenge or proving others wrong. It's about proving to yourself that external circumstances don't control your internal state. When life punches you and you smile back, that's power. Think about your biggest challenge right now. What if instead of letting it break you, you used it as fuel? What if every obstacle became an opportunity to take a soul, especially your own weak soul that wants to quit? The most powerful soul you can take is your own, the version of you that makes excuses, that quits when it's hard, that chooses comfort over growth. Every time you push through when that weak version wants to stop, you're taking its soul. But this only works if you've built what Goggins calls the calloused mind. Lesson number 4, calloused mind. You know how you get calluses on your hands from lifting weights? Your skin literally gets tougher from repeated stress. Goggins realized, why can't your mind work the same way? He started seeking out things that made him uncomfortable. Hate running? He became an ultra-marathoner. Afraid of water? He joined the Navy SEALs. Bad at pull-ups? He set the world record, 4,030 in 17 hours. But he didn't start big. The calloused mind isn't built in a day. It's built by doing one thing that sucks every single day until that thing doesn't suck anymore. Then you find something harder. Most people avoid discomfort like it's poison. They structure their entire lives around being comfortable. Climate-controlled houses, food delivered to their door, entertainment on demand. But comfort is making you weak. When you callous your mind, something magical happens. Things that used to destroy you become minor inconveniences. That presentation that terrified you? Easy. That workout that seemed impossible? Warm up. That difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Just another Tuesday. A calloused mind doesn't just handle stress better, it literally seeks it out. Because you know that stress is just unopened growth. Every hard thing you do is a deposit in your mental toughness bank account. Here's where it gets really interesting. The calluses aren't just defensive, they're offensive. When everyone else is breaking under pressure, you're getting stronger. When others quit, you're just getting started. You become the person who thrives in chaos while everyone else barely survives. Think about it. What's one thing you avoid because it's uncomfortable? Cold showers? Waking up early? Having difficult conversations? That's your starting point. Do it every day for 30 days. Not because you have to, but because it's hard. And this leads perfectly into something Goggins calls the cookie jar. Which sounds soft, but is actually one of the most powerful mental tools you'll ever learn. Lesson number 5. The cookie jar. This technique saved Goggins when he was literally dying during a 100-mile race, and it'll save you too. Mile 70 of the Badwater Ultramarathon, Death Valley, 130-degree heat. His kidneys are failing. He's hallucinating. Every expert says he should quit, but then he reaches into his cookie jar. The cookie jar is a mental collection of every single time you overcame something impossible. Every victory, no matter how small, goes in that jar. They only remember the big wins. Number. Goggins remembers everything. That time you stood up to a bully in 3rd grade? Cookie. Finished a project everyone said was impossible? Cookie. Got through the worst day of your life? Cookie. Failed high school? Came back and graduated? Cookie. Couldn't swim? Became a SEAL cookie. Weighed 300 pounds? Lost over 100? Cookie. Each one is proof that you've beaten the odds before. When you're in hell, and trust me, you will be, you reach into that jar. You pull out a cookie and remember, I've been through worse. I've done impossible things. I can do this too. Most people, when they're suffering, only think about the pain. Their mind spirals into, I can't do this mode. But when you have a cookie jar, you have evidence. Undeniable proof that you're tougher than this moment. The more you use your cookie jar, the more cookies you create. Every time you push through by remembering past victories, you create a new cookie for next time. It's a compound effect of mental toughness. Start building your jar today. Write down 10 times you did something you didn't think you could. Not just the highlights, the small victories too. Because when life gets dark, those cookies become your light. And speaking of darkness, the next lesson is about something most people completely misunderstand. Lesson number 6. Embrace the dark side. Everyone tells you to be positive and think happy thoughts. Goggins says that's BS. He uses something completely different, controlled darkness. Before his first ultramarathon, Goggins didn't visualize success. He visualized pain, hours of it. Blisters, cramps, wanting to quit. He pre-lived the suffering. Why? Because when you expect rainbows and get thunderstorms, you break. But when you expect hell and get hell, you're ready. It's not about being positive. It's about being prepared. Goggins calls this feeding the dark wolf. Acknowledging that part of you that's angry, frustrated, has something to prove. Instead of suppressing it, he uses it. Think about every motivational speaker saying, let go of anger. Goggins says the opposite. That anger about where you are in life, that frustration with yourself, that's fuel. Premium fuel. But it's controlled darkness. You're not lashing out at others. You're turning that energy inward, using it to push harder than positive thinking ever could. When he's at mile 80 of a race, broken and exhausted, he doesn't think happy thoughts. He remembers every person who said he'd never make it. Every failure. Every moment of weakness. And he uses that darkness to keep moving. Here's what most people don't understand. Most people are afraid of their dark thoughts. They meditate them away, therapy them away, positive think them away. But what if those dark thoughts are trying to tell you something? What if they're showing you exactly where you need to grow? This isn't about being negative. It's about being honest. Life is suffering. Accept it. Prepare for it. Use it. Because when you embrace the darkness instead of running from it, you become dangerous in the best way possible. Which brings us to the final lesson. And this one determines whether any of the others actually matter. Lesson number 7. The uncommon amongst uncommon. This is the lesson that separates those who read the book from those who change their lives. After becoming a Navy SEAL, Goggins noticed something disturbing. Even among the elite, most people coast. They reach a certain level and stop. They become common amongst the uncommon. You lose 30 pounds, then gain 20 back. You get the promotion, then coast. You run the marathon, then stop running. You reach your goal and think you're done. But Goggins discovered the truth. There is no finish line. The moment you think you've made it, you've already started declining. Because while you're celebrating, someone else is training. While you're coasting, entropy is working. Being uncommon amongst uncommon doesn't mean never resting. It means never settling. There's a difference. Rest is tactical. Settling is terminal. Goggins wakes up every day like he's starting from zero. Doesn't matter that he's run 200-mile races. Doesn't matter that he's a SEAL. Today, he has to prove it again. Most people hate this idea. They want to arrive. They want to reach a point where life gets easier. But that's the lie that keeps you average. Life doesn't get easier. You get stronger. But only if you keep pushing. But here's what most people miss entirely. The uncommon amongst uncommon mindset means you're never satisfied, but you're always proud. Proud of the work, not the results. Proud of the effort, not the outcome. Because the effort is the only thing you control. Think about where you've settled. What achievement made you comfortable? What goal made you soft? That's your danger zone. Because the moment you stop growing, you start dying. It's not about being the best. It's about being better than yesterday. Every single day. That 1% improvement, compounded daily, that's how ordinary people become extraordinary. So let me break this down into something you can use immediately. These 7 lessons aren't separate ideas. They're a system. The 40% rule shows you have more. The accountability mirror shows you the truth. Taking souls gives you power. The calloused mind makes you unbreakable. The cookie jar reminds you who you are. The dark side gives you fuel. And being uncommon amongst uncommon keeps you growing. But knowing this changes nothing. Information without action is just entertainment. So here's my challenge. Pick one lesson. Just one. The one that made you most uncomfortable. That's probably the one you need most. If it's the 40% rule, next time you want to quit something, do 10% more. If it's the accountability mirror, go put one sticky note on your mirror tonight. Write one hard truth and one action. If it's callousing your mind, pick one uncomfortable thing and do it tomorrow morning. Because here's what Goggins taught me that changed everything. You're not competing with anyone else. You're competing with the person you were yesterday. And that person, they're hoping you stay weak. Don't give them that satisfaction. For more book summaries that give you actionable takeaways without the fluff, subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.